Hi there, this is David Detman, and I'm just having to re-record the members webinar for marketing survival skills. So I'm just going to play it. I'll be working in the background, so hopefully I'll try not to have too much noise going on. But this is a webinar which Kaths has done for the Wednesday night 8 p.m. on the 12th of the 10th.
Good evening, everyone. This is Kathleen Cooley and David Detman coming to you tonight with the weekly Marketing Survival Skills live webinar. Tonight I'm going to be doing something slightly different. First of all, if anybody is new, and I see a couple names I don't recognize, if you're new and you would like me to go over the MSS startup, I will be happy to do that, or if you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them. If after I'm done doing that, or if there are no questions, then I will go on and I'm going to do what I call Computer Basics 101 for network marketers. And I know you're probably thinking, as an online marketer, why is that important? Well, as I found out, and many of those that know that I was having some serious problems and even had to cancel the webinar, and I kept looking for viruses and kept coming up empty. And I found, through the help of a close friend, that my problem was in my plugins and extensions on the internet. This is not a virus, it is not a hacker, it is not any kind of Trojan, so your security will not catch it. And it does obviously present some problems. It slowed me down on doing work, which meant I made less money. Fortunately, one of the people I'm actually doing work for now has been patient with me and understanding, but that's not always going to be the case. So are there any questions about marketing survival skills? And if there's anyone here that's been here less than 6 months, would you please post in the chat box how long you've been here? And if you don't know where the chat box is, up at the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see an orange arrow. You just click on it, and it will open that you see on your screen, right now, and bring up the chat. Okay? I'm not seeing any questions yet.
No, I'm not seeing any either at the moment.
Well, I know Susie Gilbert and Sue Knapstein, and I know Brian Hearn, and I believe I've seen Steve Standard in the past, although I believe it's been a while. D'Amica White, I'm not sure I've met you yet, and would be happy to know how long you've been with Marketing Survival Skills. Aha. Okay, if you have time, Sue says she has, Sue's been with us for about 6 months, but she's a professional procrastinator, and if I have time, please do a quick review of what to do first. I will be happy to do that. Let me increase my chat box here so I can see the questions. Yes, Steve's the chicken lover, yes. And believe it or not, Steve, David still uses that as part of his marketing now. I thought I recognized your name. All right, so we will do a brief review for Susie. And Susie, if it helps any, I'm a procrastinator too. Hi, Florence. If you have any questions about MSS, or if you're new to MSS, I'm actually going to do a brief review. Please let me know by posting a question so that I can go over what you want. Okay, there has been some changes. Yay. Mike and them are finally starting to get some changes in. As you can see, the background for the MSS page for training has been changed, but the logins are still the same. Now, for those of you that, like Sue, that haven't been here in a while, they've taken out the first video and tell you to go to phase 1 and start your training. Okay? Now I'm going to log in. And remember that there are 2 sites right now. Susie says, I'm glad I'm not the only one. That's cool. Yes, it does look nice, Sue. Come on. Go away. Not what I want to do. Sorry, I have to figure out. There we go. Okay, it automatically comes up to the calendar. But the first thing I'm going to tell you about this calendar is do not pay attention to it. This is a calendar that was set up by Mike and Adam before David and I changed the schedule. And I have mentioned to them that it needs to be fixed, but as of this moment, it hasn't been done. The webinars are now on Wednesday night, obviously right now at 8 p.m., and David does his own webinar with a different link at 8 p.m. on Saturdays. And David, if you want to put your link in for that.
Okay.
I would appreciate it. Damika says she's been with MSS for about 30 days, so you're fairly new. Have you got any questions, or are you doing okay with it? Because I don't believe I've seen you in the Skype chat room. All right, while she's answering that, we have the different levels, the phase 1 success recipe, phase 2 online ads, phase 3 video and Google, the webinar archives, which is going to be something you want to pay attention to, and of course your calendar. Down in here you've got chat scripts. This link will give you a basic idea of what you can say when you're chatting with people. Don't just copy it verbatim. Make sure you go over it and modify it to your own talking and your own area, and that the information is still correct. Because one of the things that they're doing right now is changing the website, and they're not updating things that are old on this site because they're going to have them updated on the other one. All right? You have a Facebook event script for the Thursday night meetings, which they're not having at the moment. Apparently, Adam ran out of topics, and they're trying to find somebody who is willing to take on the Thursday night meetings and do something besides CEO. So if you know anyone who's good at training and doesn't mind doing meetings, pass the information. If they don't belong to MSS, maybe you can get them in. Right now it is 3. Yeah, I see that you're new to the chat room, Damika. I'm usually the one that tries to be around when I'm not tied up with school to answer questions. So if you need any help, feel free to ask in the Skype room. And if you're not in Facebook yet, let me know and I'll get you started on that. And all right. I think I got all the questions now. Do you see any more, David?
No, not at the moment. I'm just responding to a couple.
Okay. Whoops. This little thing is playing games with me. Thank you. All right. Let's go down this again. The MSS hosting setup, they have changed the cPanel to HostGator. They're trying to see if that resolves some of the issues that they were having with the other 2 servers. If you have any problems at the moment, the only option you have is to submit a support ticket. You click on that, and you need to submit a support ticket in order with the correct information for them so that they can switch you over, and they'll send you a email with your information in it and review the video. I am not currently doing their hosting simply because I have a hosting set up right now, and I don't have time to mess around with changing it. I will say this, though. If you are new to marketing, you do not need to have a blog right now. Blogging does pay, but it's a long-term thing, and it takes 6 months to a year to really get it to start paying off. So your main concern right now is going to be chatting on Facebook or LinkedIn or even Twitter if you want, getting relationships started and inviting people to view different webinars. And this is why the webinars is going to be important. And David, I guess I'll go ahead and post it since I've got it open.
Okay.
Down at the bottom, starting at about May, the links here on the webinars, I didn't give them to you. They have now, this How to Sponsor One Rep Per Day online now has an equal sign at the end of it. And anything after that also has the equal sign. Okay? The reason this is important is because you can take this link that I've just put in there, change the username to your username, and send it to anybody you want. And what happens is after about 20 minutes of the video playing, down here in this blank space is going to pop up an invitation inviting whoever's watching that video to join you in MSS, and it'll take them straight to your link. And this is important because it gives them the information that they want and attracts them right away, doesn't give them time to stop and think about it and wait. You know, they can always come back and do it. But a lot of times if you present somebody with an option to sign up when they're looking at something and they like it, they will sign up right then. And right now, it is free. And sorry, someone asked a question. I'll get to that in just a minute, Brian. It is free, so it's a good time to get people in. Mike has assured us that when it starts back up as being charged, it will still only be $10. And I believe they are going to return to the 50% referral bonus as well. This is not something he's doing for money. It is mostly for the training purposes. So, you know, you can make money on it. David, did you have something?
I know, I was just going to say, which Brian had a question, that's all. But you already...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to get to that in 1 second. When he gets ready to start charging again, they will notify us and give us, you know, a set time frame, and the people will have the option to opt out. Most of them probably won't. So it's a good time to build the business while it's free. No, Mike is not back over from overseas yet. However, he did tell me there was a possibility that he would be coming home before the year was up. A strong possibility that he would be home before the year's up. I don't want to go into any more detail than that because that's his news, and I'm sure that when he's ready for everyone to know it, he will let us know. He is also looking into getting Adam and Matt to participate a little bit more in the actual Skype rooms. So I'm looking for some changes there. They've been very busy, apparently. This is somebody who was supposed to come to the meeting. So I'm going to close my Skype. Hold on 1 second. I have ADHD, and things flashing in the corner of my screen tend to distract me from what I'm trying to do. Now, Brian has asked a question about the changes in Facebook for the chatting and the friends list. They have made several changes, and I do agree with that. Let me go here. There we go. I got rid of it. With the Facebook changes, you need to remember to do, actually, I figure between 20 and 30 maximum. I would say at best, though, do 10 to 15. So we'll do 10 to 15 new friend invites a day. No links in those invites. Absolutely no links. And if you can post a comment, of how you're connecting with them, where you saw their name, that's good too. This keeps them from reporting to Facebook that that they don't know you, because you've connected yourself with something that's in, like a group. If you put links in, Facebook will monitor it, and most of the time they're going to block you after they see it a regular occurrence of that. Go away. So that's changed. And let me go log in here so I can show you one of the other changes. All right. The chat friends list, unfortunately, they have narrowed it down so that you can only do it a certain way. But one of the advantages to your friends list is if you right-click on the name of somebody. Come on. No, that's not what you were supposed to do. Actually, let me highlight. Sorry, you just highlighted. Down here, you get a list that says friends. You can choose, based on that, what categories you want them in, and you can even unfriend them if you want to. It's not cooperating with me today. You can see it down there at the bottom. I don't I'm not going to unfriend her. But the nice thing that I like about the new way of doing friends is that you can go down here and uncheck things that you don't want to see on your screen. And I don't want to see a bunch of games on my screen, on my Facebook, because I'm in business. And when people come to your page and they see game after game after game after game, they think you're not serious about business. And if you have somebody who's continuously spamming your page, you can also go in and click this little link over here and suggest that you only want to see the important updates, or that you want to unsubscribe from all updates, but you're still subscribed to them, which means they'll still see your posts. And it's kind of a backhand, sneaky way to do things. But if you have friends that you like and you're in business with them, but you just don't like the kind of posts they keep putting up, you can go in and fix it so that their posts don't wind up on your wall. And you can reverse it. Okay. Now, as far as chatting, if you go up here on this little wheel-shaped thing and click on it, you have available to chat, chat sounds, limit availability. If you click on this, it's going to open up a box where you can decide who you want to be available to. Yes, David?
No, that was just a chicken.
Okay. And that way you limit who comes up in this box. Now you can still search friends. You can still put a name in here. And like, see, David's name comes up, but he doesn't have that green ball next to him, so it shows that he's not actually on Facebook. However, if you click it, and it brings up his thing. No, I don't want my brother, thank you. When it first comes up, it'll say David's not available for chat. You missed that because it went over to John's page right away. You can type anything you want in this box, and it will go automatically show up in messages. And then when David comes back on again, he will get it. And I find with Facebook's problems with the message center, a lot of times it's quicker to post it this way than to go and actually do an individual message. Again, you've got the little arrow there. You can add friends to chat to that particular chat conversation. See any conversation you've had with the person. That's not what I wanted it to do, but okay. Let's go back. That goes back to when David had a birthday, and I said happy birthday to him on his page. So anyways, there's a lot of little neat things you can do now. As far as categorizing them, Brian, I have not really seen where that's beneficial anymore. New contacts and new relationship, they have made it so that it's actually more of a waste of time, I think, to do that. So you're going to have to figure out a way to separate them. You actually, Susie, if you go back over, I believe, David, do you have the video on Facebook? Did it render and go up on YouTube?
No, that one, I'm thinking of doing a webinar on it, actually, just because so many people have been asking for it. So maybe even this.
Yeah, Susie, that would be great. Susie's asking, she's saying she's unsure about getting a second profile. You don't need to do that. David and I have both been going over how to handle the new Facebook, and there is a way to make sure that all of your posts are only seen by a certain group. And I will go up here real quick. Get away. All right. Let me see. Update status. I am doing an MSS webinar right now. I want only certain people to see this. I'm doing a members only webinar. So I can click this little button right here that says public. When the drop down menu comes up, and if you need to, click see all lists. Go right here, click MSS, and when I hit post, the only people that are the people in MSS. And I personally happen to, I didn't like a lot of the changes that Facebook made right away, but this is one thing that I absolutely love, because that means if I want to say hi to my friends and not my business acquaintances, I can simply go over here and change it to just friends and type up what I want to say, and no one else but those on my friends list will see it. So does that help? Yes, that is cool. And it's a great way, I think, to resolve the issue of not wanting you to have more than one Facebook page, and you having business acquaintances as well as friends and family on there. For me, I started my Facebook page to keep in touch with my family who don't live anywhere near me. So when I went into business online and started using Facebook for business, it was a real hassle for me to keep them separate because my family is not in my businesses. I'm one of these people that was in so many different businesses before that my family doesn't even want to hear about it. And that's, so I don't tell them about it. I figure when I get to the point that I'm making more money than they are, they'll come to me and it won't be a problem. All right, so that's it for Facebook right now. Does anybody else have any questions on that one real quick?
Susie just put in, and so did Sue in the question box. Kath, I'm having troubles hearing any sound from you at the moment. I'm not sure whether other people are. Just let us know in the text, in the questions box, whether you can hear Kath or not.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you
I
now.
accidentally muted myself. Okay. If you go over here, see where I have posted on somebody's wall, click the X. A little box comes up that says hide this action from profile or hide all recent comment activity from profile. The same thing is offered when you make friends with somebody. And if you click on that, then you will, anytime you make friends with someone, it will not show up on everybody else's wall. And I have personally done that, which is why I was trying to figure out where to go to show it to you, because mine don't show up, because I don't want everybody in the sun to know. Now, I don't know about you, but another note, especially for the women, because of all the scammers and hackers on Facebook, my list, my friends list, is not visible on my Facebook page to anyone that I have not preset to be on to see my list. You can do it only you, or you can do it for just certain people like family members. And the reason I'm going to say this is because what happens is these scammers come in, they make friends with you. If they can't get something with you, or while they're trying to get you into a conversation, they start going down your list and hitting up all the women on the list and telling them that they're friends with you. And then, of course, you wind up with all these friends asking you why all these people are trying to get in touch with you. You also occasionally have the unscrupulous business person who will come in and connect with you and then go through and do what I call rape your list, taking all your names and then going out and sending business invites to them. These type of people are not the type you want to do business with. And it's just a lot simpler if you don't make your lists available in the first place. Then you don't have to listen to people complaining, and also protects them. On that note, if you get women, men too, because it happens to both, if you get an invite to somebody, Sue, I'm going to run out of time to do that with you right now, so if you want to catch up with me on Skype afterwards, I can explain it to you, or I'm sure if David doesn't know how, I will show him for his meeting on Saturday. But when you go to add a person, this person right here I can see by the people he's listed with is not going to be someone who wants to do business with me. So when I confirm him, I'm going to make sure he goes in my events list. But for the sake of showing you something, and I'm pretty sure this guy's okay because I know that the people he's hanging with. If you go in here and you see up here that the picture is of an older person than what's on this, what is listed here, they're usually from overseas. Sometimes they're not. And if it's a man, they have all women in their friends list, or it's a woman and they have all men in their friends list. This is a no-no. Do not accept these people. In fact, report them as you don't know them and block them. These are scammers, and they're looking for someone to scam. So when you go in and you check your friends list, your friends here, and you go down the list, if I can get my computer to cooperate, I'll show you the list. There we go. If this is mostly women or mostly men, you do not want to be friends with those people. And I can send you a link to my blog through Skype if you're interested, with more information about how to keep yourself safe on there. Now see, David has all these games on here. So, you know, when I friend him, I'm going to make sure that I go back in to my page and click that I don't want to see his games by highlighting his name. The only game I play is Farmtown, and I do allow that to come through. But the other games, I don't want to see them. So that's it for Facebook right now. Let me show you, because we're running out of time, and it's okay if we run over today, David, because I don't have class tonight. My teacher's on vacation. But just to go over this real quick. Come on, bring it up. My computer decided it wants to act up right as the webinar was starting tonight. And I don't understand. So I may have something to do with GoToMeeting. Up here in your browser, you want to check your add-ons, about add-ons. You want to put about add-ons in the list and then go. Now for me, actually, I have it up underneath my toolbar. It's already on the toolbar, so I just go to the add-ons and add it. Now, I was having all kinds of problems with my computer. The pages were whiting out on the browser, on the internet. I was having problems with real slow loading, with it freezing up and getting stuck in between changing pages. I'd go to type a post on Facebook, and it would take me 30 minutes to type it because it would keep stopping. And it was really, really frustrating. And it happened. It started happening in Gmail, and then eventually started happening in my other sites. And what we found out is if you go over here to your extensions and then later your plugins, you want to go through and review everything you have on here. And if you have not put it on there yourself, if you don't know why it's there, you need to either look it up on Google or disable it, and see what it happens, and whether if you have problems or don't have problems, don't remove it right away. Just disable, because if you disable it and start to have a problem, you can always come back and enable it. And what I've found and David's got, if you can put that link up for the Microsoft.net in the chat box. The Microsoft.net Framework Assistance, the 0.0.0 that I have right here, is for having the ability to click once support for things related to while you're browsing. I don't do that. I don't use anything from Microsoft while I'm browsing. I bring it up from my computer if I decide I want to use it. So I don't need that. I also found through the link that David's posting in the chat box that at some point this particular net framework assistant was known for a high security risk because it opened up backdoors for hackers and people to get into your system. I don't know if they've corrected it since then, and personally, since I don't need it, I don't care. So I disabled it. You can check it out yourself some more by going and checking that link, and by investigating it yourself. Okay? Now, it's in your Skype, David. There you go.
I did post it.
Okay, I see it now. Somebody said no links that I didn't know. I didn't see who it was. I also found that when I updated my last Skype, they put, and I had seen a little funny Skype thing on my toolbar but didn't know what it was. They had automatically put Skype click-to-call right into my browser so that I could use the Skype phone to call people straight from the browser without opening Skype. I don't need that either because I leave my Skype open 80% of the time anyway, and if I want to call somebody, I can just click on it and bring it up. It's just a waste of time, and it slows down your browser. This is another one that I had on there that I forgot was on there and I don't use. All right, go to plugins. Here's where my problem was, and if it will go over there, I will show you. I had downloaded a program called Yono, Y-O-O-N-O, which was supposed to live stream all of my social media to the left side of my screen so I could respond to things as people did them. It slowed my computer way down, kept getting in the way, didn't want to work right, and I was really unhappy with it, so I took it off. But when I downloaded it, it also downloaded a program called OctoShape Streaming Services. And, oh, hi, Frank. I didn't see you come in. That's okay. David's going to try and record it, and or he's recording it. If it renders correctly, then it'll be up on his site later this evening. You have a good night. Sorry, somebody was leaving. OctoShape Streaming is something that is used for gaming. It's used for downloading videos or music from iTunes and various other things. So if you're somebody that does that, you want to check out and make sure that the one that you have is a safe one to have for you. I don't need it. I disabled it, and my problems all went away. But this was the last thing I disabled. I found that Microsoft Office 2010 had also put a link in or plugins into my Firefox so that I could open Microsoft applications straight from my browser, which I don't do, so I disabled it. And I don't use Chrome, so I disabled that. But the one that made the difference was this OctoShape Streaming Services. And David, you have that link as well. If you could, or name, the name itself. If you could post it in the chat box so they can keep track of it, I would appreciate that. Anything that you have in these plugins, any plugin, any extension that you have, you need to make sure you know where it came from and why it's there. You need things like Shockwave Flash. You will need some sort of real-time player or QuickTime or something to play videos. These are things that are important, like the Windows Media Player. Now, because of my school, I have to have both because the school works on one, and for work purposes and things that I like to do, I need the other. So these are things that you need. If you don't have or don't want to use your Microsoft app plug-in so that you can access it from your browser, take it off. But as I said before, don't remove them right away. Just disable them. Once they're disabled, they can't do anything. Windows Presentation Foundation was another one that was snuck in on me by some program, I forget which program it was, and that I didn't need. And I don't remember at the moment what it was for. I was trying to get all my information together before the webinar and lost track of time and didn't get it in. But this is really, really important. This cost me money because I wasn't able to chat on Facebook. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Yes, I did, Kath. I'm not sure. Is that link on the page you gave me?
I'm sorry?
The link you want me to post out.
I was saying OctoShape doesn't have a link.
Right.
The OctoShape name, the Microsoft.net one, which I think you already did that one. Just anything that's there, if you want, go ahead and copy it. Shoot, now I'm doing something again with my computer. The next thing I want to show you, and this is where we become to the Computer Basics 101, and I know most of you probably already know this, but on the off chance that you don't, and believe me, I have met some people who really don't, we need to, let me close this. You can go up into your tools, your cache through your options. That's how most people do it. I personally find this doesn't do a sufficient job. You do need to make sure that you are cleaning your cache and emptying your cookies every time after working on the internet, any day. Because the cookies show up every time you do anything with the internet. And it clogs up your system and slows things down. I personally use a downloaded free program from Perryform called CC Cleaner. And I like it because it allows me not only to clean it, but I can clean up my registry as well. I can uninstall things from my computer right from it, and that also takes care of my recycle bin. This particular version, I don't need to even analyze because it tells me what it's removed. And it's going to come up and tell me I need to close Firefox before it can work, so you will see that message. You have to have Firefox closed, and that's the only disadvantage to it. You can empty your cache with Firefox open from Firefox, but if you want to control what it's cleaning out, I highly recommend using the Perryform CC Cleaner from, shoot, I can't think of their name right now, but I put the name in there for you to be able to go and look it up. And you see here where it tells me what it's taken out. You also can go and clean up your registry, scan for issues. These things clean up computer and open up space. And you need that space to keep working. If your system gets too overloaded, then it starts to slow down and you have problems. I had one person come to me complaining that they hadn't been able to attend one of the webinars for up to 3 weeks. And when all was said and done, she did not know how to clean her cache or registry. She'd never done it. And she had 97% of her computer space was in use. And the reason she couldn't open the meetings was because she didn't have enough space on her computer for it to be open. So it's really important that you do basic things. Yeah. Like run a cleaner. If you're in marketing, you really need to have something a little bit better than, say, the basics that Firefox offers or that Internet Explorer offers. I'm sorry. Can't talk here. And you see it's showing me registry areas that need to be cleaned up. And it'll give me a complete list in a minute. And when it's done, I can fix all selected issues, and I'm done. Just click on it, and it's over with. And you can go in here. It will give you a list of most of your applications that are on your system. You click on one, and then you tell it what you want it to do. It's real simple, real easy, and doesn't have a problem. It doesn't. I happen to like it personally. David, did you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, I just posted the link in for the CC Cleaner just then for people.
Okay, thank you. Now, if you don't know how to do it, then you need to pay attention. But defragging is also something that's another thing that's important to do. You go to All Programs, go up to your Accessories. When the window comes up, scroll down to System Tools, and then click Disk Defragger. Now, this is something that's going to take time, so I'm not going to do it right now. I've already done mine recently, but and you probably want to do it when you're not going to be doing a lot on the computer because it takes up a lot of space, so it slows things down. But the keys to remember here is it tells you what your capacity is, how much free space you have, and the percentage of that. You want to keep this number right here over 50%, at least 50% or more. I'm at 62% free space, so I'm good. Anytime you go under 50% free space, you're running the risk of your computer crashing. And when it crashes, it's going to take everything with it. And I know people say, oh, well, I'll just take it to so-and-so and they'll get it back. Wrong. When your computer crashes because it was overloaded, they can't get it back. So you need to make sure that if you have more than 50% space on your computer used for things like pictures, which are usually what takes up most of it, find a way to back up those files to something like a CD and remove them from the computer so that you can have more space. It's really important when you are working online, especially as a marketer, because some of the things online take a lot of space, and if you don't have that space available, you're not going to be able to do it. There are a few other basics that you need to keep up with, like backing up your computer, backing up your blogs, making sure you have those on things like a CD, or even in like WordPress blogs, you can back them up to your email. Mike suggests you back them up to both the email and to your desk, so you have them in two places. And he does have a video on that in the webinar archives on blogging. If you have a blog and you want to know how to do that, you can look that up in the webinar archives. And these are really key. Make sure you also have a backup of all your passwords and emails and anything else like that, so that if you're, because I had that happen to me, my passwords all got wiped out, and I lost a lot of sites that I was doing things with because the email that I had on those passwords had been closed. So there was no way for the company to send me a new password because the password that they had, the email that they had was no longer listed. So make sure you keep track of all of that. And if for some reason you do change your email, make sure you go back to that list and change it in every area. Because otherwise, I have like 6 Twitter accounts and only 3 of them are active because I lost the first 3. I can't use Hootsuite because I lost the password for the old account and they can't send me the new one. And we tried for a while to straighten it out so that I could open a new one and cancel the stuff on the old one, but it just became a hassle, so I quit. But that's my own personal choice. So these are things that you need to keep track of, and they're little things. They don't seem like a lot, but when you have this happen to you, it can be a real problem. Yes, David, do you have anything to say?
Not at the moment. The only one thing I might comment on too is you might consider storing some files in cloud compute. You could even do that with your own website, like you can store files on it, or there are services out there where you can store files just as an extra backup. I use one of my websites to store some of the videos and that in case my computer crashes and I get booted off YouTube or something like that. So that's just another way you can actually do it as just an extra backup.
Okay, thank you. I've heard a little bit about the cloud programming, but I've not actually done any investigation on it, so maybe that's something you could do for one of your webinars. I would be happy to learn more about it because I have seen a lot of comments on Facebook and around Google about the cloud programs, and they appear to be something really big.
Yeah, a cloud is anything we store online.
Yes, David?
Pretty much a cloud is everything which you store online is in a cloud somewhere.
Okay, that's good. And somebody, forgive me if I pronounce it wrong, but Roque Lowe has also pointed out that you can use external hard drives, like your flash drives. They're also really, really good. Actually, even better than disks because they don't get scratched up and are a lot harder to break. So that's a very good option as well. Thank you for bringing that up. So I pretty much that covers everything that I had to say. Are there any last-minute comments that anyone would like to make before we end? I will give you guys a minute to see what all you want to say about it. I see a lot of people that I know but haven't seen in a while on here today. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Sue. She says they did a great job and thanks for all the useful information. Yes, David.
it's good to see people coming back to the webinars. I think we got the times right and changing them up a bit. There's a lot more people on this one than usually, and same with the Saturday Night Live ones. I'd like to thank people for coming. I'll repost the Saturday Night Live link for people who came in. That's the next webinar Kath and I are doing. If you're already registered, you don't need to register again.
Okay, thank you. Brian just said that he just ran the sea cleaner on his system and he was very impressed. It caught a lot of things that his other cleaners did not catch. So that's a testament to the sea cleaner. It really does make life a lot easier and a lot simpler for marketers. It's been one of the best finds I've ever come across, and I forget who told me about it, but if I could remember, I would be thanking them even today for it. So, all right, I think we're just about done, David, so you can stop the recording. And if you guys have any questions, I am going to have the Skype open again here in a few minutes. I will leave it open until 10. I have a class meeting. We're doing group and teamwork programs this term, which means that I get to create projects with other people, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But our first meeting is at 10 tonight, so I will be turning Skype off for that so that I'm not interfered with while I'm doing my classwork. But I will be back on in a few minutes, and if you have any questions, you can check with me there either in the Marketing Survival Skills group room, or if you have me on side Skype, you can, that's my side Skype, you can chat with me there or add me and I will add you. Okay? Everybody have a wonderful evening, and thank you for attending.
Okay, well, that was Kathleen's Marketing Survival Skills webinar. And if you enjoyed that webinar, I recommend which you do, side Skype Kathleen and let her know. Just to let you know, which this webinar was re-recorded, so if you had any problems, I hope it's come out all right. The other thing is, with the CC cleaner, or the C cleaner, sorry, I have added that to the toolbar. It is under the tools, this icon here. I haven't updated this toolbar here. It's under there, and it's under computer information. And I'll just refresh it for you. Let's see if it comes up. I personally learn a lot from this webinar. I've had problems myself. So if you go to, it hasn't come up yet. Just when we do upgrades, sometimes they don't come up, but it will come up just here. I'll just have a look on the other computer, just bear with me. It will come up under computer tools. By the time you're watching this, it'll be there. So just under the cool text here, it'll come up as computer tools, and you'll be able to get that free CC cleaner. Absolutely unreal tool, so I highly recommend you get it. And once again, thank you for viewing the webinar in the video, and don't forget to catch the Saturday Night Live, which is Saturday Night Live with daviddetman.com. Okay, so I will end now. Or shall I say the recording?